Then, showing her purchases, "Look here, I have bought this bonnet. I do not think it is very pretty, but I thought I might as well buy it as not. I shall pull it to pieces as soon as I get home and see if I can make it up any better." And when her sisters abused it as ugly, she added, with perfect unconcern, "Oh, but there were 2 or 3 much uglier in the shop, and when I have bought some prettier coloured satin to trim it with fresh, I think it will be very tolerable." So Miss Lydia is not very happy with the bonnet she's just bought, but she will make it up and trim it up better than before. And that reminds me that for my book week costume of Miss Anne Elliot, I am going to have to think about some of those accessories to really make this look come together. It may not be much, but something like a bonnet, an appropriate little bag or reticule, the appropriate shoes will all come together to really set this costume off. So there are a few things that I will find quite easy. I have some long white knee socks that I can use for stockings. I have in fact got, believe it or not, some old cotton gloves that I found on eBay a while back. Some people were getting rid of some. I have indeed some navy and some nice plain white cotton gloves. So I think I'm okay for gloves. I would love to have kid gloves, but haven't found any decent ones of those. So I will probably pick either white or navy cotton for this outfit. Need a little bag, some sort of reticule. They would have used some sort of cloth bag. Now, I have made little bags like this before, little pouches, and the one I thought I could use so that I don't have to make anything out of my scraps is in here. This is my wedding dress, and back when I made my wedding dress, and look, I might show you all my dress sometime, I used some of the scraps to make myself this little pouch style purse. And I'm thinking that this could do for this outfit. This nice cream colour should work with the sort of gold that's in my dress. So I am going to make use of that. What do I have in there? Oh, here's what I have in there. Kirsten Mark, my friend's mum made that for me. Very cute. So I might keep that out of there, but it'll be just the right size for putting a mobile phone in, a set of keys, and maybe a lipstick and not much more. So I have my little purse. What I need to think about though are shoes and the bonnet, like Miss Lydia Bennet is saying. For my shoes, while something like a nice sturdy lace-up boot would be perfect, you would have seen something like that when Elizabeth Bennet was jumping styles in Pride and Prejudice. But the other thing that they would have worn is a nice simple little flat shoe. And I'm thinking this sort of ballet flat shoe that I walk around in lots could work. The colour's right with this denim finish is probably not, but I think that will be fine. What I don't like on the shoe is this sort of bow with toggle thing. So I might try trim this up with shoe roses, I'm sure, with a bit of ribbon or something like that. I might be able to make something a little bit more authentic. And then my other thing to worry about is the bonnet. Now, you may, if you've watched a lot of mine before, notice that I'm a bit of a crazy hat lady. I own probably more hats than is sensible to own, but I need to wear them for school. When you're out in the yard, it's only sun smart to wear a hat. And so I've kind of come to be known for the interesting and crazy hats I wear. Let me show you what I've got and what I'm thinking. I don't know if you can see there. This is sort of how I store my hats, but up there, oh, some more there. Yep, even some more there. I have a few hats. But what I don't have is a bonnet. I, of course, got online to look at all sorts of hats of the Regency era, and probably the one we always think about are bonnets, kind of like Lizzie's lovely example here from Pride and Prejudice, or this one that I really like from Sense and Sensibility. If I thought there was a way I could make that lovely bonnet capote, I don't know what you'd call it, that Kate Winslet's wearing in that one, I would certainly make it. But I don't know how to make it, and of course I'm making it from things that I have in my stash. So, what do I have that would work best for a bonnet? I can't sew one from scratch because I just don't have the time. Book week is upon us. But what I do have is this hat here. I picked this up, I think it was just a cheap one from a chemist or something like that when I needed something, and I just sort of stuck this flower on there to make it a bit more interesting. However, I sort of realised that when I did this and I turned it round this way, it starts to get a bit of a bonnet look. So I did find websites that talked about taking sort of a straw hat like this, taking the brim off and reshaping the back of it to make it more sort of bonnet-like. Now, I could do that, but I'm thinking I really don't have the time to completely re-sew a hat like that and get it finished. Plus, I'm not sure that I want to completely change this hat because I do wear it fairly regularly and it's a handy colour and shape to do things with. So I'm thinking I don't want to make any permanent changes. So I did research. I did, not just looking at Sense and Sensibility, but I actually went back to some of the more primary documents where people have put on pictures from publications like Costume Parisien. Is that what it's called? So, Costumes Parisien. I really like the shape of some of these bonnets here. But what I was particularly interested in is, this is from London and Paris Fashions of 1916, and I don't know how well you can see it, but I want to zoom in to these two. Again, I'll link you down below so that you can find the information online. But I'm really quite interested in these. I really like the bow and things on this, but I am interested in this hat here. I might even put it up there properly, but what you can see here is the back of the brim has actually been folded, kind of like I had there. So I'm thinking that I'm not too far out of the realms of possibility and of what they would have done back then to sort of play with the shape of a regular hat to make it work for a bonnet. So that's what I'm going to do. I have bonnet. I don't think I'm going to be able to do all of those flowers, but like I said, I do have a stash. Am I a hoarder of stuff? Yes, I am. Let me prove it to you. Crikey. I just realised I've got a lot of navy ribbon. Go figure. I am going to then have to think about how to put all of this together to get something like that. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is maybe put a nice navy band around there and navy ribbon that gets tied around the neck. I'm wondering if I can make sort of a rose kind of bow arrangement, kind of like that. Possibly if I use the silver and navy to give it a bit of contrast. So in the picture that I'm looking at here, thinking if I just sort of pin this down like that, but maybe I'll do that band first. So let me decide which ribbon I'm going to use. It might become apparent very quickly that I really have no idea what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. It's an awful lot of trial and error. I'm kind of thankful I've got some sort of a design of a hat to get me started and thinking about how to do it. And it certainly helps if your hair's in the right spot with these bonnets as well, otherwise it just won't sit properly. So now, if that's how I'm going to do it, let's start playing with the trims and making it look kind of pretty rather than as ugly as it is at the moment. Here I'm starting to realise that the shape of the hat's not quite what I wanted. It tends to try and round out on the top, and I wanted it to sit flat. So it was a bit of trying with the ribbon to see if I could help it to sit the way I wanted. If that makes any sense. Eventually I decided the more ribbons the merrier. Maybe it will help. One thing I'm coming to realise, trimming a hat is a lot harder than it looks. Hats off to those Regency girls. So I tried to get inspiration from some of the other pictures, see if I can do things with ribbons. It just really wasn't coming together for me. Yes, the little flowers look cute. Let's just pull a few of these out. If in doubt, load it up with flowers, right? I mean, that inspiration pic had quite a few of them. I've got quite a few of them. Let's give it a go. What do you think, Laurie? They're not real flowers to eat. Well, Laurie seemed to approve of putting the flowers on at least, even if she only wanted to eat them. So I think that's roughly what my bonnet is going to look like. It's completely not what I was expecting. But, you know, you go with what you've got, you go with inspiration as it strikes, and what I'm going to have to do next then is tack or baste all of this stuff down out of the way so that it kind of sits properly, because at the moment the pins don't make the ribbons sit properly. So if I end up just tacking it down with a bit of thread, it will all sit a lot better. Then I can place these flowers a little better as well, wherever they need to go. So on the trip home today, I thought I should take a break from sewing the pelisse because I really need to get the bonnet finished. Today's Tuesday, dress-up day at school is Thursday, so I really need to get this bonnet in some sort of wearable condition. So on the train home, I got out the bonnet that I'd trimmed the other day and, well, have a look. See this? I've had a bit of a major rethink and pretty much I took everything off And see, here's the thing. The way I had the bonnet before with all the flowers and everything, I think I was channeling too much Lydia Bennet and not enough Elliot. I think Lydia would have been right up there with all of the flowers and extra ribbon and this and that, but, you know, rereading Persuasion just reminded me that Anne would have simple, elegant taste, and I think the way I had the hat before did not quite fit that. So I'm giving it a bit of another go again, and look, this time I'm sewing it down because I'm just going to have to live with whatever I finish. This will probably take me both train trips tomorrow, and then I got to wear it. So we'll get there, but it's going to be tight. So this is Wednesday morning with me in my Beauty and the Beast costume. I'm sewing a bit of a ribbon around the rim of the brim, and I'm also adding a bit of wire to it, so hopefully that will help the bonnet to sit the way I want it to. It's a bit fiddly, but...
This is a Brisbane City and Bowen Hills train.
So I decided to make a kind of rosette for the side of the hat. I'll sort of take you through it as best I can, how I went about it. Okay, take the ribbon and I loop it so that it is about the same length as the width. And quickly throw a few stitches in. Okay, now I'm going to turn it just enough so that the edge sits there, and back down, and then I'll take my thread and again about equidistant down, I'll stitch it through. And same again. Take it just past that. It'll fold and it'll leave just that little triangle there. I find that gives it a nice neat look. Fold it down. This time my thread's on this side. Stitch it through all of the layers. And I just keep doing that. Usually about 8, like this seems to do it. So with 4, maybe 5 loops, that's about halfway, and that's basically where I stopped for my shoe rows and just added a button to it. But for my hat, it's going to be a full circle rosette, so I'll keep going until I've done 8 loops. Now I'll tuck that under there. Pull it into shape. Just tuck that little corner under there as well. Just going to put a few stitches in the middle to help hold it all into place. And there we are. A lovely little rosette to put on the side of my hat. Not quite the same size, but she'll be right, mate. And a spare button just finishes off the middle really nicely and holds it all in place while I try and sew it through the hat to get it in place. A stronger needle probably would have been good, but hey, we get there. And with a final knot and snipping of the thread, the bonnet, she is done. And I am just so relieved. And I don't mind the way it looks either. And so just quickly going back to the shoes, this is me trying to work out the sort of rosette for the shoes. Okay, so there's 5 loops. I think that looks kind of cute. Then if I were to sit that on it, and then that can just sit on top of my little bow there. Oh, look at that, I could even tuck that in to hide it. Ha. Well, I reckon I can get away without sewing this even. So I did try and pin this on, thinking that maybe I would want to take it off later. I can tell you the pins were really, really difficult to get in. They bent. I lost I don't know how many. And then when I was wearing it, I actually lost one of the buttons off of the shoes as well. Fortunately, they came as a pack of 3, so I can put another one on there for another occasion, but I should have just sewn in the first place. Ta-da! I'll just tuck that bit in there when I wear it. What do you reckon? Cute Regency? I'm pretty impressed with that. Well, here I am, and for the first time in nearly 6 months I haven't been sewing on the train because it is as done as it's going to get for costume day today. Let's see how many funny looks I get. Well, in the end, not too many funny looks, even some nice comments. So anyway, thank you for watching me on this Regency adventure. Hopefully I'll have my police video for you next week once I've got it all finished. So enjoy, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.